Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacciana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we are going to pick back up where we left off yesterday, which was with this Viscount, newly put back together but not wanting to light, and not real sure what I'm thinking here in a minute when I start. I guess I was going to put fuel in it when I realized it was already fueled up. And the number one thing I should have been considering here was the wick. I already knew I'd taken note earlier that wick needed some attention. And I don't know if you could tell with the narration from yesterday's video, but I'm kind of confusing myself with how I should be speaking about something that actually happened about 3 days ago. And I'm just putting a voice to now today because of the way that the microphone malfunctioned. But anyway, you can see that wick there, how short it is and charred. So we're going to do what I have always called the tug and snip or pull and snip method. You're going to need a good pair of pliers and a good sharp pair of scissors. You want to take care as you are trying to grab a hold of the wick with the pliers. Make sure that you don't get a hold of that collar, the chimney that surrounds the wick, and bend that up. Be very deliberate about what you're doing and get those pliers with a good solid grasp on your wick before you pull up on it. Otherwise, it's probably going to pull apart on you, or there's just no telling. Sometimes maybe the wick doesn't give, but your pliers do. But you can see with this one, we were able just to get a hold of it, pull a good clean amount of wick out of there. And now we will get the scissors and get that snipped off at a good length where we can now bloom the top of that wick out and have a good surface there for that lighter to ignite. That's pretty long. I wouldn't normally leave one that long. That's where I cut it at, and so I left it. And you can see here in a minute as I use this little paring knife to bloom out the top of that wick. If you'll do that, then that gives you more surface. You got to have three things. You got to have the spark, you got to have the fuel, and you got to have oxygen. And you give yourself more of a landing place for all of that by blooming the top of your wick out. Some people really seem to think that's weird. I've seen some of them on some of the Facebook lighter groups, and they really, some of the comments are kind of funny when you see a Zippo that's been kind of spread out like that. I think it was a Zippo Addicts group where I saw that there were several of them that really got a kick out of it. But it really does help in igniting the lighter. Just to give you some other examples and also to demonstrate that this tug and snip or pull and snip method, whatever you want to call it, is relevant for any kind of petrol lighter. But you can see here by what I'm talking about when I say blooming the top of the wick. All of the lighters in my personal collection that I've used or otherwise, some of them are brand new, but if I've used it, then you can bet that wick is bloomed out simply because they light better that way. There's more, as I said, it's like there's more landing area. more surface space for all of those elements that need to come together for fire to take place. There's more opportunity for it with the spread out top wick than there is just a straight rod of a wick. So we'll get back here now and strike this thing up, and as you can see, it lights right up like it was meant to do it. Seems to be a strong flame. Everything working together like it should. You can see that wick is, like I said, quite a bit longer than I would normally leave one. But I couldn't bloom that wick out all that wide like I would like to. So I think it's just as well that you have it that long. It provides still more area for vapor to escape and to give you a better opportunity for ignition. As I was saying, it's really all about the mixture right in there by that wick of oxygen, spark, and fuel. I'm not a scientist or engineer or anything like that, but I really do think it's that simple. I don't think it's any more difficult than that. But this lighter really seems to be functioning a lot better. You can really see that thumb roller is rolling very freely without the need of putting the thumb up there. Or I'm sorry, I keep saying thumb. The thumbnail. It does take some effort, but still I was able to get it tightened down there. You can feel that tension on the back of the spring. And like I said, sometimes you can push there and release a little bit of the pressure to help get that threaded through there. But man, this is a really nice lighter. A few scratches and the sort of hobnail, whatever design that is cast into the sides, the pattern that is in the body of the lighter, and seems to be really reliable. Maybe this will be one of the lighters that I can get up in one of the charity auctions for HDSA soon. Until next time.